Hey, what is up, Lovelies? It is Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and let's touch base about Sylus and his boycott that is happening and why people are boycotting. So, now, I'm pretty sure everybody's tired of me talking about the boycott. However, I want to give a little bit more perspective because I just realized, okay, that there are a lot of Sylus girlies out there who are finally hitting Sylus's new affinity cap of 130. And now that they have hit that cap, there isn't anything for them to do with Sylus anymore in game. And because there is no roadmap for any of the content coming out, what else are they going to do in the game until April when it's Sylus's birthday? So this is a very interesting post that I want to go over, and this is by Senu. And they're saying, what do we even have to look forward to as content in this game besides his birthday in April? Dailies, random messages and calls, new plushies every other week. Hell, I already got all kitty badges, maxed in coins, so no use in playing with him. But yes, keep calling us dramatic. And then Mads here said, no, legit, maxed kitty cards, sure we got plushies, but we can legit play it in one day. Affinity is capped, no direction, and no signs of anything being resolved. So there is still a lack of content for Sylus. Of course, there is no new Bond story coming out, so there's no new anecdotes coming out either. Everything in relation to Sylus in the game, for those who hit that affinity cap, basically everybody comes to a halt, you know, and it's kind of crazy. Now, Mads had also seen like what is exactly missing for Sylus, right? So here we legit reached the cap and we are still missing out on so much affinity with him, like F me. This lack of content leaves Sylus players missing out on over 6,300 base affinity points, broken down as follows. Now, when we say base affinity points, we again mean the base content that Sylus should have been released with, as compared to the original 3 love interests. That goes with anecdotes, Bond stories, 3 and 4 star memories, and all of the different things that the original 3 were released with. So it is 300 points per missing 4-star memory, 100 points per missing 3-star memory, 250 points per missing anecdote, 1,000 points per missing Bond story, factoring in additional affinity gains from ranking up, upgrading, ascending, and awakening. Sylus mains face an overwhelming 32,316 point affinity deficit compared to those who chose the original 3. That is a total, if you add these two numbers together, of 38,616 points. Now, if we take this number, okay, and we should all know that the affinity level to ascend 1 affinity level in Love and Deepspace is 3,000 affinity points. If we take the number that is missing, divide it by 3,000, Sylus Lovelies are out 13 levels, so they should really be at 143 level cap instead of the 130 that they are in right now. And you know, it would be much longer, it would take much longer for them to upgrade things and spend the resources on, and they would also have more content in the game overall if that was the case, if they had all of the base materials that Sylus should have been released with. However, no. And here, this by Cass says, this Sylus main lifestyle is not for the weak at all, man. All this fraudulent AI face and VA crap, a lack of content for affinity and affinity cap maxed out, lacking orbit levels, people chopping his cardboard stands. My beloved was truly born into an apocalyptic terror. So, what are they talking about, people chopping up his cardboard stands? Well, for Valentine's Day, Sylus, Lovelies, Sylus Kittens in the CN side, had held this huge event at one of the malls in China, and there are a lot of cutouts of Sylus, his chibis. This is all fan funded too. You see those huge displays? They're huge. Can you imagine how much money goes into that? And all of these cutout cardboard pieces of Sylus, their heads were chopped off by haters. And this has happened before, of course, but it is just sad to see something like this be demolished. You know, it's hard work of a lot of people, and that is not the only Valentine's Day event that had happened. There are different Valentine's Day events for Xavier and for Zane, for Raphael. I don't think I saw one for Caleb, but there's probably one for Caleb out there too. However, there wasn't as much hate towards Sylus as heads being chopped off of cardboard cutouts, which is kind of sad. It is very, very sad. So yeah, I mean, being a Sylus main right now, very difficult, very difficult. And if you think this doesn't affect you, well, Caleb Lovelies out there, this is your future. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, but because Caleb was released with the same amount of content lacking, this is the same thing that is going to happen for you guys out there. It's unfortunate, like for some reason they're not doing anything about it. Like, this was posted on the 15th. Mad says, sitting here thinking about Sylus's lack of content, how Infold hasn't addressed it, hasn't raised his affinity levels when people have already maxed it out, and how the only guaranteed content we have right now is his birthday. There is no roadmap showing what exactly is going to come out. There is no idea of when we're going to get that base content for Sylus. And Sylus Lovelies are sitting in the dark right now. And Caleb Girlies, this is your future. I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is your future. And this is what the Sylus Lovelies are boycotting about. They want justice for Sylus. That is the name of the boycott. And that in particular actually affects all future love interests coming into the game. And also in the game already, since we already have Caleb. So Caleb Lovelies, maybe it's time to hop onto that bandwagon, so that way you guys don't feel this kind of pain down the line. And anybody who is looking forward to the 6 love interests that we're eventually and guaranteed to have in the future, this may also happen if nothing is fixed now. So it is very disappointing to still not have any recognition from Infold themselves addressing the situation, especially since we've already had the 3-day boycott for this Catch-22 banner that has now dropped them from place 4 all the way down to place 26, I believe now is the newest update. In my previous video I had said 23, but now I think it's 26. So they are still dropping in rankings, and yet there is still no announcement, no acknowledgement, no anything. And it's disappointing for all the players who want to see this game shine and also see it evolve and become something that is completely new in the gacha space and in the Otome space as well. Yeah, fingers crossed. Some people are saying that maybe after the banner is done, that's when Infold is going to address the situation. But if they're not going to say anything, which they are notorious for, not addressing anything, not unless it's in terms of legal action, it's disheartening. They might do quiet fixes. If they did quiet fixes, at least it's something. I mean, if they suddenly like slip a Bond story in the next update, I'm pretty sure players would be happy, but it would be nice if we got some official recognition for it, something. Yeah, that is pretty much the situation, and this is going to be the situation for every new love interest. I have to emphasize that because some people think that this boycott is ridiculous and that Sylus Lovelies just complain too much. They're not complaining too much, they're complaining just enough. Okay, they're complaining just enough, if not enough, because there's still no there's still no recognition from Involved themselves. But yeah, their quote-unquote complaints or disgruntled feelings will only better the game. I don't understand why people are against the boycott. If again they were saying something abhorrent like, oh, EN players should not be playing this game, take it out of the EN market or something like that, then that's when I would have a problem with a boycott. But that's not what they want. They just want more content in the game for their favorite love interest. And Caleb is going to feel this. Caleb girlies out there are going to feel this eventually down the line too, which is pretty crappy because I love Sylus and Caleb both. So, yeah. Yeah, that is pretty much it. This was actually tagged to me. I should give credit. This was tagged at me by, if we go to my notifications, this was by Nonya. I just feel like you should see this. It's so bad. And it's this post by Mads. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. Hopefully you understand why people are so upset that Infold is just being so silent right now. But yeah, leave your questions, comments, concerns down in the comments down below. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I cover Love and Deepspace and all of the news covering this game. And thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn, the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye now!